I bought into that bullshit. It caused a lot of agoraphobia, and because I had to live two different lives hiding from a gold digger, it just compounded everything. So I would have panic attacks almost every week that literally would send me to the emergency room. Either I was driving there, running red lights, speeding. How I got there without killing anybody or hurting the vehicles is a miracle. But as soon as I got there, it would stop. Because in my mind, I was in a safe place. And you need to do that in your trading. You need to make your trading in your model your safe place, your home. Your home if you're trading your model. You're not at home trading somebody else on a live stream trying to copy them. I can't imagine the level of fucking fear and anxiety that would cause because you're watching somebody. You don't know the delay's going to come in. You don't know if the connection's going to stay on. I'm gonna trade this guy. He's doing this. He thinks he's going to go up here. He thinks he's going to go down here. And then you're going to take a trade on that. No idea why that person is saying it's going to go here. You don't know if they're really taking a trade in a paper account, practice account, live account. You don't know if they actually entered it at all. And now you're in there. What constitutes holding it? Them saying they still like it when it's moving against them? And all of a sudden you start seeing them turning into a comedy show. Oh, well, you're losing real money. It doesn't feel like a joke to you. You're having anxiety attack. You're having fear grip you in a manner you've never felt before. And you feel powerless. And you don't want to close it because what happens if that guy's right? And then I didn't make any money. I got out when it was a losing position. And then I'm going to hear him say, oh, you dumb fucks. You didn't make any money today. Look at you. You're all losers. You're brokies. It's very important to guard your mind. Very, very important. And if you let bullshit in, you're going to get that out in your results. You have to be focused. You have to be centered. You have to have complete and utter control over yourself. And I can't do that outside of things that keep me focused on a chart. Or if I'm talking about the word, they're the only two discussions, the only two topics that would keep me from having wild swings. I'm chemically imbalanced. And I can't always keep those things in control. But I've learned over my life that those two things are the ones where I can do the most in terms of keeping balanced. Now, after I get a winning trade, I feel like a peacock. In the beginning, my wife would be like, man, whatever, get the hell away from me. Now she understands it's therapy. Okay, I go down there and I'll look at her and she's like, what did you do? And then all of a sudden I'm doing the Mick Jagger. I'm prancing around and shit. She's like, whatever. She'll either give me a kiss or whatever. Something to that effect. But the point is you have to have some kind of way of releasing, whether it's the great part of being profitable or accepting the losing trade. If I have a losing trade, no problem. I go and remove myself from the charts. I have to have at least 10, 15 minutes away from it. I have to take a break from it. Unless I know it was right then and there, it was just me having an ill-placed stop loss, or I moved the stop loss too quickly and it burns me. If I knew right then and there I did it wrong as the operator and everything's still good, I'll enter right then and there. But if I take the stop loss and I don't feel certain that I'm still right about my analysis, I physically leave my room. I physically go either outside or I go to another part of my room or house. I can't be in the trading room because at that moment, my tendency is I want to smash the fuck out of the marketplace. I want to exact revenge. See, you think that I'm calm, cool, collected, Dr. Jekyll. But when I take a losing trade, I'm fucking Mr. Hyde. Like I'm Jack the fucking Ripper. I want to slash and gut a motherfucker. Like I just really want to just unload. But I can't think clearly like that. So I have to reset myself 10, 15 minutes away. It does not matter if I miss a move. If I come back and I miss something, it's okay. I know how to get into another move. I got 81 ways I got a lot of problems, mental issues, but getting into a trade ain't one of them. I got 81 fucking ways to do that. And if the trade's there, I will get in there. But I have to separate myself from that torn wrestling match of, I got to get it back. I got to be right. I got to be perfect, because that's my pursuit. That's the plague in me. I'm pursuing perfection, and I know I will never obtain it until I leave this body. But I can't obtain it here. But it doesn't change or deter the pursuit of perfection. And when I incur a loss, I go into a fucking savage mindset, and I can't think clearly. So one of the rules and boundaries I place on myself, and this is exactly what you don't have yet as a new trader, why you should not be trading on these taboo days, because you don't know yourself. I do know myself. I know exactly how I can derail myself. I know exactly when I'm going to do the things that would have led me to blowing an account like I did when I was 20. But you don't have the experience to understand it about yourself. And some of you have blinders on. You don't want to pay attention to the characteristics you're showing over and over and over again, which you would see if you were honest in your journal. You don't want to journal. It's too fucking uncool. All the cool guys on YouTube and Twitter says journaling's for bitches. These motherfuckers are broke, telling you they don't journal. Everybody that treats this like a business in one shape or form, they journal. Whether you like to believe it or not, it is what it is. I don't know why everybody has this thing about, journaling, that's for geeks. It doesn't work, it's for nerds. Really? If you're running a business, they have KPIs, baby. Okay? KPIs. Every Fortune 500 company has KPIs. They are measurements. And you have to make sure that you have a KPI measurement when you're trading. What's the Top Step just introduced those types of things for traders to evaluate what they're doing. Wonderful, wonderful addition. Wonderful addition to those pursuing that funded account challenge. Because it gives you metrics. That way you can measure things. And they should be fucking private. I don't know why people go on there and they screenshot that shit and say, here you go, boom. Because you're looking at outward. I just saw the time. I got to wrap this up in 3 minutes. If you take your KPIs or your stats as a trader and you put them on the internet, okay, here's what's happening. You are asking outside audience members that may or may not have any real interest in you becoming a better trader. Many times they don't want to see you be a better trader. Okay, that's the vehicle that social media was instituted to cause division. It's not for networking. It's only been instituted as a way to make us go at each other. That's what it's there for. Okay, and that's how it's used. Now, you might have good relationships and you may network and you make a business out of it, all that stuff. That's wonderful. But if you take your KPIs, your stats as a trader, and you put them on the internet, what you're saying about yourself is you can't grow without having someone else co-sign your growth. You need to have someone else give you an affirmation. Oh, you're the GOAT. Oh, I want to trade like you. And what you're doing, you don't realize it at the time, but what you're doing is you're establishing this pathway where you're only satisfied if people are sucking you off on the public. If they're out there kissing and licking your ass and saying you're the GOAT, you are going to do trades to try to upstage the last time you did it. And that is not what a professional trader does. They don't give a fuck what anybody else thinks. They don't give a fuck how much somebody else made or how much they lost. They don't give a shit. All they care about is, are they following their model? Are they minding their own fucking business? Because when I make money, you ain't spending it. When I lose it, you're not giving it back to me and putting a Band-Aid on it and fixing it for me. It's all me. And there ain't a trader walking this planet that's better than me. I don't need to put that shit on the internet. You don't either. And when you do that stuff, you are taking yourself off the clearest, shortest path to excellence. When you do that kind of stuff, you've elevated the game so prematurely. You've now made it about being relevant instead of being consistently profitable, working with your model and keeping your KPIs, your business stats as a trader private. That's how you have the excellence of growth, maturity as a trader. All of these people out there demanding that you do this and do that. You know what that is? That's them sucking. And they just want to see, oh, somebody else is miserable, just as miserable as I am. I'm not saying there aren't people out there that can share their stats and their accomplishments, and they're just sharing because they were either asked to do so and they don't have any real intentions outside of just saying, okay, I'm part of the community. They asked me, I'll share it to you. I'm not bragging. I'm not saying I'm better than somebody else. I'm just saying you asked for it and here it is. But largely what you're seeing in the industry, social media community in terms of trading, anytime someone shows stats, 90% of the time they're bullshit. They're fake. Or they're doing so and they may have earned those stats realistically and for real, genuinely. And they may not be that long in trading, but they don't know the damage that they're doing because they're creating Olympic size feats in terms of, well, I got a lot of likes on that because I made 20% last month in my trades. And I had a 90% success rate and my drawdown was only this. And my, risk to reward model, rating was this and that. What you're doing is you're taking your eyes off of the main focus, which is following your model and becoming bored in that model. You don't want to have any invitation for elevated cortisol and adrenaline in your trading. You need to keep that at bay. And the only way you can do that is by keeping your progress private. That's how you do it, folks. That's the secret to it. Because as soon as you invite other people to critique it, you can make a fucking $1,000 every hour and have 100% strike rate. Somebody's going to come out there and talk shit about you. And it may be legit. You may be able to do all those things and have the receipts to prove it. And there's still going to be people coming out there saying you're full of shit, you're a fake, you're a fraud, and it's photoshopped and it's all horseshit because they can't live in their own skin. So don't trade in these taboo days because all these problems will manifest themselves there. If you're brand new, don't trade those days. Tape read them. Over time, you will learn how to do these things. You won't be influenced by social media's trap. I got to show I'm relevant to the next guy. No, you don't. Are you feeding your face on a weekly basis with the profits? Are you feeding your family's face on the weekly profits? Are you taking care of your ends? Are they meeting? Because that's what this is about. Fuck Lambo. Okay? Fuck mansions. Fuck heated swimming pools. Fuck Corvettes. All that shit. It's all irrelevant. It's about making sure you can eat. The way you live right now can be an improved, or it can go way beyond your imagination and dreams. It's where you take it, but you can't speed it up. Where you believe you can be right now, I guarantee you, that's not even far enough yet. Your perspective is limited because you know where you are right now. You know what you can and can't do right now. Can you go out next week and make $10,000 in the course of trading with real money? Can you do that? Most of you probably can't. But most of you on social media would pretend that you could. And you have to balance that stuff. Don't get caught up in the stuff that's on social media that makes you feel like you have to go out there and establish yourself as an identity. And that's your identity as a trader. If you're brand new, your goal is keep your nose in the charts. Learn what your tendencies are. Are you able to keep focused? Are you able to identify that you're in a problematic condition in the marketplace, that you're going to lose control of yourself? That's these taboo days. All of my students that are mature and in their model, they can trade on every single one of those days. And they do. But in the beginning, they were told and they were trained, don't touch them until you know how to handle them. They're rattlesnakes. And until you learn how to pick up a snake safely, it still doesn't mean that you can't get bit by one, but they have learned how to handle snakes. And in these days, there's snakes in the grass. And you gotta be real, real careful. Because if you don't know what you don't know, you can find your ass getting bit. And you can end yourself mentally. You may have more capital to trade with, but because you've done something and completely scared yourself out of it, you're done. You're never touching it again. I've trained students that did that to themselves, and they never gave themselves a chance to really learn. Told them these things, don't trade these days. They did it. Boom. I'm scared. I can't trade anymore. No more. That's it. My wife said, nope, can't do it. I'm done. I'm a single income family member. I took this thing on your right, but I know I can't do it. I'm stopping. Okay, well done. If you know you're never going to come out of that mindset and you're stopping, that's the best outcome. And you're not going to hear a mentor tell you that. They're going to say, oh, you're a bitch. You quit. No, that's someone that is plugged in to know what they're willing to do and what they're not willing to do. And if you know that you are not going to be willing to make the changes and develop the discipline, you know you are going to do this again, and there's no fixing that, the best thing you can do is stop. That is the best outcome. There's no shame in that. But you can do this. There are rules that you have to apply. And certain days in the beginning, you don't trade. In time, experience will dictate this. You'll be able to trade those things too and slap the shit out of them. You can do it. But everything I teach has a context. And many times the trolls and haters and the people that want to sow bullshit to make themselves look better because they can't do it with their own results, they'll say things that aren't true. And they'll twist and contort things I've said or say things I didn't say and take everything out of context. And you as a new viewer, a new person, you see this stuff and you're weak-minded. Oh, that person has an opinion. Let me not be an independent thinker or go and investigate the things on my own. Let me just adopt their mindset because I'm a lazy fuck and I'll just do that. And there it is. And join the bandwagon. And then you're the one getting laughed at because we're bringing receipts all the time. I got extremely profitable students, absolutely verified, paid out to the fucking gills. More people coming all the time. I got so many fucking interview requests. It's ridiculous.